Hello everyone, Steam Trunks Productions here, and welcome back to the Steam Trunks channel. After almost a year of sitting completely stationary, missing a railway show, and enduring a long period of trial and error, we finally decided that it was time. Time to dust him off, refit him good as new, and return him to the rails so he can ride the rails with pride, just like his younger days. Today's video is about Stirling, but it isn't just about Stirling, however. It's also about his brother, Eric, and about how Raymond and I brought our engines back to life. Our story begins last year when Eric started having trouble with his one wheel.
Broken down. Wheel come finger down and blowing off.
The wheel kept slipping off the axle, refusing to stay put, no matter what we tried. So, on Friday, the 12th of December, 2025, despite a North Sea between us, Raymond and I sat down together and decided to fix our two soul tanks once and for all. We proved that no matter how hard you try to beat Mamod, they will never fall. They will always return. Mamods are strong engines, unlike other locomotives out on the market. We started by removing the loose wheels. Stirling was the easier of the two. His loose wheel was the rear left wheel, meaning that the side rods could just slip off when the piston rods were disconnected. Eric, however, wasn't so lucky. The 2023 Mamods don't have removable side rods, which made the job far more awkward. Once the wheels were off, we used a blowtorch to burn away the build-up of gunk and oil. This residue was old Loctite we'd tried months earlier. Scraping them out cold would have been too risky and too messy as well. One slip and it could damage the metal, ruining the fit entirely. However, heating it up until it turned white hot broke it down safely. So, with much hesitation, I put a blowtorch up to Stirling's wheel. When I saw that the gunk went white hot, I stopped and I waited for it to cool. When it had cooled, I scraped all the gunk out and it was ready. With the wheels cleaned, refitting began, and this is the critical part. Before pressing the wheel fully on, we loosely fitted the wheel onto the axle while aligning the rods. Get this wrong, and the locomotive will never run smoothly. Once aligned, the wheel was pressed on by hand, and a wooden block placed beneath the opposite wheel, then gently but firmly tapped on with a hammer, checking consistently to make sure the wheel went on straight. It's the last thing we want is a crooked wheel. After one final inspection of the locomotives, we were ready. A word of warning, however, always be careful moving engines sideways on the works table after this kind of repair. There's no quicker way to undo all that work than to move it sideways quickly and over a rough surface. After a standard steam up process with oil and fuel, we were ready. First up was Eric. He was steamed on the blocks, safety valves lifting proudly before Raymond opened the regulator and Eric moved off clean. His wheels stayed exactly where they should. After running out of gas, it was rewatered and placed on the track, coupled to his goods train, and sent down the line without complaint. And I'm pleased to announce that Eric's wheel stayed on. Meanwhile, across the North Sea, Stirling was being fired up in the SCSR yard. To help control the speed, we coupled Connie's shunting tender behind him. This marked the first time Stirling had run without diesel in nearly 8 years. It was windy and we were getting a lot of blowback. Because it was winter, the darkness fell quickly. But we pressed on I took Stirling out of the yard, I set him for the main line, put him in forward gear, and off he went. His speed built quickly, and yes, he did derail a few times. But I was kind of hoping for that. Why was I hoping for a derailment, you might ask? Well, if his wheel stayed on even after a derailment, that means that he was cured, and these derailments were pretty bad too. We're talking tipping over and digging himself into the ballast. The wheel stayed on every single time, a clear sign that the repairs had worked. The following morning, Eric was taken to the West Riding Small Locomotive Society and steamed once again, and according to Raymond, he ran beautifully. Up on screen here, you can see some footage of Stirling and Eric running, and I think you can agree that they look spectacular running.
When I'm too old for a fireman's work, it's a driver I shall be. Oh, we fill up the tank with water and the tender stacked with coal. I pick up the shovel in me frozen hands and I fill up the fiery hole with me long narrow shovel, me bread and cheese, a little white can for me tea. When I'm too old for a fireman's work, it's a driver I shall be. Oh, we roll on down to the cabin, and the guard is waiting there. We pick up the train from the shunting yard, and we're off to God knows where. With me long narrow shovel and me bread and cheese, a little white can for me tea. When I'm too old for a fireman's work, it's a driver I shall be. And when the fire lights up all the footplate and the night is sharp and clear, if a man doesn't close all the loco sheds, they'll be here in 40 years. With me long narrow shovel, me bread and cheese, a little white can for me tea. When I'm too old for a fireman's work, it's a driver I shall be.
After that run, Raymond and I stood back very satisfied and very proud controllers. 2 engines, 2 long-standing problems fixed, not by luck, but by patience, care and determination. And that is what the SESR and the Blackgates Light Railway stand for. Stirling and Eric were no longer sidelined. They were back where they belong, on the rails, under steam, and proud once more. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and this is Steam Trent Productions signing off.